International Scrapbooking Day hop that we're doing. I showed you the layout at the beginning of the video. That is an exclusive layout from Sarah Scraps. She created it for our team and for everybody in the Wild Whisper community to use. So go and check out the link down below to follow along with the hop and also to check out that community Facebook page. There is a scavenger hunt going on that we're doing and prizes, and it's just going to be tons of fun. So if you're looking for something to do today, definitely check that out. So you can see here, I'm going through my container of Wild Whisper papers. These are papers going as far back as their very first collection. I have it all, and you can see it's all well used. There's lots of scraps and bits and pieces there. And so I just wanted to grab a few pieces from different collections and kind of put together this layout with some pictures from 2019 actually, because there wasn't a Great Canadian Scrapbooking Carnival last year for 2020. So these are from 2019 when I hung out in the Wild Whisper booth for a little bit and did a make and take for them. So I found this paper here, which I was so excited about. The iconic kind of tree rings is the logo, or in the logo for Wild Whisper. So I thought that that was the perfect background for this layout. And also I've twisted it so that the tree rings kind of go generally in the same place where Sarah put these circles at the top and bottom corners of her layout. So that's, or of her sketch, sorry. So that's going to kind of represent those circles in the sketch. So it was serendipitous that I came across that piece of paper. And then I also have some of these pieces of scraps left over from the actual make and take that I did for the Wild Whisper booth. So I thought I had to somehow incorporate that into this layout as well. So my make and take was a really quick and easy Christmas tree ornament that you could make by just punching circles out of any paper. A lot of people do it with their Christmas cards at the end of the year. They punch circles from some part of the cover of the card and turn them into paper ornaments that they put on their tree. I use just a lot of random papers from my stash and also from the stash that the ladies had, Susie and Heather, and just let people pick whatever they wanted. But from my own stash, I had cut a bunch of these papers, and so I just wanted to make sure that I kind of incorporated those into the layout. And so they make really good mats. I love this collection. It's just really fun. And you know, the colors are nice and bold. And so they made really good mats to go behind each of my pictures. Now I'm doing 4 smaller photos rather than 2 4x6 photos. So my layout will look a little bit different from the sketch, but that's the beauty of a sketch, is that you kind of take your inspiration from it. So you're not necessarily copying it exactly. You're just picking and choosing the elements of the sketch that kind of inspire you and help guide you towards putting your own layout together. But I still want to kind of have the center of the layout be where the bulk of the pictures and the embellishment is. So I decided to go through all of my cards that I have from the different journaling packs, and you can see here there's quite a few of them. I always put a good dent in all of my journaling packs, but you just get so many of them with Wild Whisper that they seem to go on forever. Like, it's absolutely great. It means that you have tons and tons of supplies to fussy cut and, you know, manipulate. And you can see a lot of mine are cut into pieces, and I've fussy cut certain elements out. I really like to make all of my stuff stretch as far as possible. So definitely I try to get the most out of each collection. But I just picked kind of a random sampling of different cards. Some are 4x6, some are the 4x3. That blue card that kind of has the bursts on it, I picked that because it reminded me of the sketch a little bit. So again, that's kind of a little throwback to the origin of the layout, where the sketch is. And I knew that none of them are really going to totally match, so I tried to mix a few different shades of blues and like the minty green or the aqua greens and stuff like that. I feel like when you mix some of the shades together when you're working with different collections, it makes everything feel a little bit more purposeful, that there's kind of a variation in the shades rather than just having a few elements that don't match and then those really stand out. So I don't think anything here is a perfect match, so I was just going to kind of go for the feel and a variation of those colors. I also decided I wanted to incorporate some florals into the layout because, again, that's an incredibly iconic Wild Whisper image. So I went to my floral stamp and I'm just going to stamp it directly onto the paper. I didn't want them necessarily to kind of stand out. I just wanted to have that little hint of some flowers and some of Heather's florals in the background. So they're just kind of there in spirit and you'll just see little bits of them poking out. So I used the biggest floral image in the two corners, and again, that's where there's that sort of circular element in the sketch. So that gives a little bit of weight to those two areas. And then here I'm using a smaller one of the florals to just have it poking out around the layers that I've created. And I just stuck all of those cards together so I could move them all as one and kind of, well, you see what I'm doing here, kind of put them down, see where the stamps are popping out, move them, stamp again if I needed to, and that kind of thing. So now that I have those stamps pretty much where I want them, you just see the little hints of them poking out. I'll go ahead and put this full cluster down in the center and kind of secure all those elements because they're just being held together with one little pop dot each. And now I can go and put my photos on. And I do play a little bit with how I wanted these kind of sitting, how I end up configuring them. So right now I have one horizontal photo of myself with Susie and Heather, and then I have three that are vertical, but I end up flipping one of them and making it horizontal. I think because I don't think many people are going to be looking at it and really looking at the details of this layout. I know what that picture is, so I'm okay with it kind of flipped horizontally, and it is taken on a bit of an angle, so it could almost go either way. So I just went ahead and flipped it, and that kind of made my pictures fit together a little bit better. And then I just wanted a little bit of something else. So I went back into my stash and pulled out some of my ephemera pieces, and I grabbed those star die cuts from the One More Chapter ephemera pack. And then I also grabbed the little labels from the one more chapter ephemera pack. And the labels kind of worked good because I was able to take a little blue one and put it on the left hand side to kind of balance the blue from the floral card, and then one that's more in that kind of tan color, orangey tan color, to balance the larger flower that's in that same card. I put that label up at the top, and then one that's sort of more of that warm yellow, again to balance the warm yellow flower, and I put that down at the bottom. So that's what I mean by kind of taking colors and just popping them into different places and repeating them a few times and having a few different shades, and it kind of just makes everything feel very purposeful and like that's exactly how you planned it to be. And I hemmed and hawed over the stars if I liked them or if I didn't like them. And in the end, I kind of left them in. But I think that the layout would have worked either way. So I kept them in there, and just, again, it was a repetition of those colors. But it could go either way. They did give me a nice spot to add a ton of sequins though, so you can see that's what I'm doing now. I just pulled out a few of the different exclusive mixes from Spiegel Mom's scraps that she creates for Wild Whisper, and I just scattered them all around. There's some wood grain ones, some blue, some dark gray ones, just to add a bit of a different texture and some dimension and glitz to the page. And that is it. That's my layout for this hop. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please follow along with all the other design team members, leave comments on their projects, and then come let us know in the Facebook group so you can be entered to win a gift certificate. And until next time, happy International Scrapbooking Day. I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.